universities don't think about where the problems are, and we keep on doing exactly more or less the same as we did. And the question is, what do we use this autonomy for? If we use this autonomy for just languishing somewhere in the position 624 or 1,300 in the world rankings, then so be it. But that is, in my opinion, a problem in itself, because we're using autonomy to create something that, of course, it comes from the word university, so it's universal. So we are reproducing, regardless whether we are in Andalusia. So the University of Almeria is reproducing the model of the University of Granada, and the University of Granada has more or less the same model of the University of Poitiers, and the University of Poitiers has more or less the same model of the University of St. Petersburg. So in that respect, we're doing exactly the same as John has highlighted in a spatially blind way. And if that leads us to just all doing the same and some doing it better and others in a more mediocre way, that is a problem in itself, because we can do things much, much better. Not if we do one or the other, but if we do both things together. If we do research, we do education, three things. And then we collaborate with the local environment, with the local ecosystem in a far better way. Because if we do all that, we can adapt our research as universities, use our autonomy without anyone having to tell us you do this or that, to make sure that rather than being 624 in the rankings, we leave a legacy in the transformation of the economies in which the universities are located, the societies in which the universities are located. And this can be done, and it's not that costly, and it just requires universities to think differently. Because rather than having, let's say, a mediocre department of whatever, engineering or law or whatever, you can have departments that can engage with the local ecosystem in a much better way. And you can be excellent in your field, and interacting with reality is not going to be detrimental for your research. It's actually going to lead to far greater capacity to do excellent research in that sort of field. And this is something that some universities in the OECD are realizing and have realized, that some governments are encouraging. The Swedish government, for example, is encouraging that, is encouraging so the participation of certain academics with partial contracts in industry, in research centers, but we're still the minority. Those are still the minority. The great majority are trying to say, let's try to become like Harvard with 1/3 of the academics, with academics that very often have been trained in the same university and promoted in the same university, and 1,000 of the resources that are at the disposal of Harvard academics. So in that respect, we need to change our mentality, and we can do it. And it's not very costly. It's something that if we do that, we transform certain universities in universities that are doing excellent research, but is place-based research, research that leads to greater collaboration with local firms, that local firms and local stakeholders, local actors, then provide feedback and encourage us, challenge us to do far better in research in those fields. We can create the situation whereby universities not only become better, they become excellent in specific areas. You cannot become excellent in everything. And then on top of that, you are transformative of your local environment. It doesn't take that much. But if we do that, we can achieve the sort of things that you were mentioning at the beginning, collaboration to create far better economic development, far better lives, and much more sustainable lives for the people living in those areas under the aegis or the influence of a university.